evening, everyone.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, welcome back to Unveil Paranormal. We appreciate you all for jumping in here and joining us tonight.
Yes,
tonight
for sure.
is such a special night. I'm excited. Are you excited, Brad?
I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. We have a surprise, kind of, for you all. We have a very, very, very special guest tonight, as you all seen publicized, Robin Terry with Ashmore Estates. We got the pleasure, though, however, to get to invite another person on tonight's show. Y'all may know her by Ashley, but she will be the next owner of Ashmore Estates. So without further ado, everybody, please go ahead and welcome our guests, Robin and Ashley.
Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back.
Howdy, guys. Thanks for having us on.
Show. Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Just so everybody knows, we are going to interview these two, and if you have questions, you're more than welcome to share them in the comments, and we will be sure to share that with them and go ahead and ask them those questions. I'm sure a lot of people know Robin Terry already. Currently with Ashmore Estates, and we have Ashley, who will be the next owner with Ashmore Estates, and they're going to share with us their stories. Robin, tell us about your paranormal connections, other than the location. Everybody knows you're that location.
Oh, yeah. We've been doing investigating for about 20 years, and probably I'm kind of more convinced that this stuff happens more during the day than at night, just because of my experiences I've had with EMS involvement and things like that. So that's kind of led me to that. I also own the Art Theater, which is where I'm sitting right now, upstairs in the theater here. So we built a house inside the theater, and so we're here, and it's haunted as well. And we have stuff happening in here quite often at times, and it's kind of unusual. But there's a lot of different things happening in this place all the time. So, but yeah, it's been a fun road trip for the last 20 years or so, and just looking forward to the next few.
Well, that's awesome. What would you say got you into it?
Actually, I had we used to run a haunted house in the basement here at the theater, and we did it as a not-for-profit. We just raised money for local charity groups and all. And I had a couple people came over one time and just up to me about wanting to do an investigation here. And so they came in and did it, and they came back and said, we really didn't get anything. We don't think there's anything there, so we just let you know. But we'll check our audio, let you know for sure. So they called me back about a week later and said, we need to sit down and talk. And I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, yeah. It's like there was a lot of stuff going on, but we need to talk. So, so they came in and we talked, and I kind of got involved with them and doing stuff, and we were doing stuff all over the place. We were investigating, sometimes 50 to 100 different locations a year, or
Wow.
a year, and we go out and do every weekend, 2 or 3 times we could go out and do different spots. So yeah, it kept us busy and run around doing stuff. So it was.
You cut out just a wee bit there.
Well, I enjoyed it, and then we kind of like most grew on there. Yep, yeah, just I decided just to do things on my own, and rather than attach myself to any particular group and just go out and do things. I've got tons of equipment, so there's always plenty of times I can bring stuff with me to take different locations and all. And I should mention also that my voice, I've been sick for about a week or so the voice is horrible. Can't hardly talk, but been involved with hockey for almost 60 years, 50 years or something like that.
Holy moly!
So it's like as a hockey player, as a hockey player, that doesn't stop you. You just you break your leg, you have a heart attack, whatever you do, you just go out and keep going the next day or that night.
That's awesome.
We're very thankful that you were able to still join us even after being sick. So we're very glad that you're here.
For sure.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah. So, Ashley, how about you? I don't know much about you, but I'm curious to know more about you. What got you into the paranormal?
Well, like everybody else, well, most people, I had an experience when I was a little kid, when I was 7. Long story short, I ended up seeing what turned out to be my great grandma, who
Oh,
I had no knowledge of who she was or what she looked like, and it kind of started from there.
oh, nice. So, it must have been a very impactful experience. Did you continue to have experiences in your childhood then beyond that one
Yeah,
experience?
I've had experiences ever since I was little, here and there. It's more just kind of like feelings wise. I don't really see a lot. It's more just knowing things, just
Hmm.
for some reason, and then like they happen. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Um, and then I joined a team out of Alton, Illinois, because that's the area that I'm actually from.
Okay.
Okay.
And they knew Robin. And right after he bought Ashmore, I came up here and started helping kind of clean out the building. And there was just something about the building that just kind of grabbed a hold of me, and I just kept coming back. And like he always says that, no, he always says it's him, but you know, like Ashley always does, I stuck my foot in my mouth one day and I said, well, if you just build a house next door, I'll just move up here. And the next thing I knew, he was asking me, what, you need 3 bedroom, 2 bath? And I was like, what? Yeah, here we are.
Well, that's very awesome. I'm glad you shared that with us because I was gonna ask how'd you two meet.
That would be
Yeah, that's very cool that, and I think that was a great idea. I've been out there since the house started getting built, and, that's wonderful to have somebody right there because there's not a lot out there.
no,
No.
no, there's not. But
Yeah.
I like it
There
that
was
way.
now, there was a mobile home out there originally, but it was getting in
Okay.
bad shape. And that's when I
Hmm.
decided, when she mentioned it to me before, I just called her up and said, "Hey, you said 3-2, right?" And she's like, "What?" And I said, "You said 3-2." And she's like, "Yeah, I guess I did." I'm like, "Well, I'm doing it." I said, "So if you want to move in, let me know." Like, give me about a
Yeah.
week, will you? So that's what we did. But, and it all kind of, besides her being out there and helping everything, it all kind of came about probably back in 2016 when I was doing an interview for a book that Vincent Churchill was writing for us. And Vince asked me, like Norman and my wife and I were sitting over at Meyer parking lot one night, and we were talking, and he said, at some point in time, you got to sell the place. It's not like you're getting any younger. And he said, you got to sell the place. You got to do something with it. It's like some fat cat from Chicago came down and offered you $500,000. Would you sell it? I said, probably not because he's probably going to do it for the wrong reason. And he
Hmm.
said, all right. And he was kind of playing with numbers. And he actually tossed out $1 million. I'm like, it'd really be tough to walk away from $1 million if they wanted to buy it for any reason. But I'm like, I'd really have to think about it. And he said, well, somebody like Christopher Booth came down and offered you, money to buy it. Would you sell it? I said, yeah, I said, because I know he's doing it for the right reason. And I told him, I said, at some point in time, somebody in my life is going to come along and they're going to drop in and they're going to fit that spot and it's going to work out. So,
Yeah.
and then, and so I talked to Ashley probably 3 years ago, when we started doing the house stuff. I'm like, ultimately, I think this is going to be yours. I said, we're going to work it out because it's not like you can run out to the bank and say, hey, I want to borrow money on this old building that's not in the best of shape, but it's in a lot
Yeah.
better shape than most of them out there. And
Right.
you guys aren't having a problem with that, right? And so we worked out a deal that between the two of us for the next like 10 years or so. We're going to, put together. So she'll be buying it over time from me. So it's still
Yeah.
mine. So she pays it, and then that's hers. Then I can mosey on down the road.
Time for
That's what he
retirement,
thinks.
huh?
That's what he thinks.
Yeah, like I was said before the show, the last time I was out there, I was actually helping mud the walls in that house that was being built. So yeah, that was fun. Me and John came.
See,
Me and
now you
my
have to come back out and see the finished product.
yeah, I do. I need to come back out there.
Yeah, I love that. The fact that this location is going to somebody who is into the paranormal and into continuing what has been built here. I know a lot of paranormal location owners. Some of them never in the field. They just were property owners, and then they found it was haunted or whatever. I love that people that are actually in the field are owning these locations. Like, I love that.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people that are into the field and they find an old property and they make it haunted. And
Yes.
it's not
Yeah.
so much, and it may not be, but at the same time they sell it that way, and it's more about the money than it is anything. And I mean, that place we try to keep it. And Ashley and the other girls that helped me out there for years, we try to keep that place as decent shape as possible and
Yep.
do improvements to the place when you can and upgrades when you can. And it's just a matter of, but some of these I just look at it. A lot of them are just money grabs.
Oh
They just
yeah,
want to go
for
out and make
sure.
money at the thing, and that's it. I
Mhm.
mean, I knew I was selling the place last year, and but I spent $15,000 on a parking lot. And I
Right.
didn't have to do that. Hell, it was. I mean, I just basically just threw out $15,000 out the window. And but it's like, well, I got the money. People have came in and spent money to come in here, so I need to make some improvement this year to it. And so
Mhm.
that's what we did. We blacktopped the parking lot out there.
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit of a brown noser when it comes to Ashmore Estates because I'm a snob when it comes to location quality of the buildings. I am not a fan of the dilapidated buildings that are available to investigate. So I love how Ashmore Estates is. It is cozy and haunted and comfortable. And I will tell you this, Robin, I have a fear of bats, and the fact that I was there and didn't see a single one made me a happy camper. So,
Well, I will tell you, I just saw one on Saturday night. So
oh
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
It's kind of weird though that we've seen one or two a year off and
Yeah,
on, and
yeah.
that's it. And it
Mhm.
seems like I think there's a bat policy out there that says
yeah,
there's only like two in the building allowed.
He
Because
was
yeah,
whenever
right
Greg,
around the back door. As soon as I opened it, he was right there. And I was like,
yeah,
ugh.
I,
yeah. I
I think it was John, wasn't it, that got hit in the
Yeah,
chest one
John,
night?
John, the video of John getting hit in the
Yeah,
chest by the bat. That's from
oh, that was
Ashmore.
right.
terrible. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the limited bat, you know, community. I've been to locations where they were swarms, so
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Well,
Yep.
Yeah, I
there's
think the
two
first.
problems with there's two problems with bats in locations. They only need a quarter of an inch of space to get in, and
Yeah.
secondly, you're not legally allowed to kill them to remove them from the building.
Mhm.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep. Depending on the species of the bat, but it's illegal in Illinois to kill bats.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. Brad has an electric, right? An electric
Tennis racket, just to
tennis
just to,
racket.
just to
Yeah,
stun them a
yeah.
little.
Yeah.
Those are bat
Not
hitting
him, not
rackets.
Philip.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
We have a couple of those at the building.
yeah. I think the first time I was at the building, it was in 2014 for the Paranormal Unity Summit. I think that was the first time John and I ever came out there.
Okay, that was
So,
probably the one that I just lost his name.
um,
Um,
David Lowery was there. Schiff. I can't think of his first name.
yeah, from Macomb. I can't think of his name offhand.
Yeah, I can't think. I just lost it too.
Terrible.
But yeah, that was the first event I was ever at, and I remember sitting. We got there kind of late, so I ended up in like the row that was looking down the hallway, and I'm like, there's like people walking down there, like in the middle of the daytime. You could just see shadows walking back and forth up and down the hallway. So I was hooked instantly after the first time being there. So, and then I've been back
And,
probably 10 times since. So at
and
least.
you had an experience during the day when you're walking down the hallway with the rocking chair in that one room.
Yeah, that was the very first time I investigated it with my team. We were taking the daytime tour, and we walked by this room, and this rocking chair is just rocking. So we like instantly like set up a DVR camera in there and let it run the entire time we were there. And when we got back and checked it like a week later, we actually caught something walking back and forth across the room, a shadow figure, and we checked the timestamp, and it was like 7:30 at night, and nobody was in the building because we had all gone to dinner in Charleston. So that was pretty awesome. That's still one of my favorite videos I've ever caught.
Yep, Brad's
Yep, I
told
still
me
remember that very
tons
much.
of stories of your location.
So that's cool. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yep, and then caught some really, and then that same investigation, John caught some really good audio down in the boiler room. Like a rock was thrown at him, and it hit one of the metal chairs. And yeah, and then that's the same night he got hit in the chest by the bat. So, and then several visits later. Go ahead.
No, I say you don't want to sit there with a camera with IRs on it like this with the right in front of you because I think the bats are drawn to those IRs, and that's
Yes.
what happened to him. I think it just came right straight to the IRs.
Yeah, and it
So
hit him.
the other side of that is if you have a newbie out there that you want to set up with a bat situation, put that right in front of you. Got to hold it right here, and the bat will hit you if you don't.
Yeah, don't even give him a camera. Just give him a really bright IR light, and just have them walk around with it. And tell them they're their
strapped to their chest.
Yeah.
One of the best advices I ever got on bats was I went to West Virginia Penitentiary, and they told me just walk along the walls. That was the best advice. That building had plenty of bats to share, and I didn't get hit by a single one. So awesome. So, I mean, a lot of people know Ashmore Estates because it's a very popular, I'd say, location, but they want to know the stories. So, Robin, is there do you have like a really scary story to share with us that you experienced at Ashmore?
I don't know that it's scary, but my experience has been during the day. I was on the third floor up there and hooking up power to the building. And there was something up there that just didn't want me in the building that day. It just kind of kept pushing me away, telling me I should leave. And finally, a couple hours later, I'm like, okay, if you guys are having a party and I'm not invited, I'll leave. That's fine. So, but yeah, it was kind of weird because I've never had that. I don't have. I always tell you I'm sensitive as a rock, and but there was something there that was just kind of pushing me out of the building that day. And then one night I was down in the boiler room. Actually, it was in the afternoon with a couple of girls. We were cleaning out the boiler room when I bought it in 2014. And I told the girls, I said, well, let me tie my shoes before I walk up here. And I said, I said, I feel like I just, make my shoes untied. I stepped my shoelace. I looked down and my laces weren't untied. They were all tied. And something just stopped my foot from moving in that, down in the boiler room. So, and then we heard voices. I mean, I've heard all kinds of voices in the building. Nothing I've ever been scared of. I think personally with me, a lot of times especially early on, when I was there every weekend I was driving over the building and doing stuff. And I think it's kind of like when I opened the door and came in, they're like, it's just him. Not a big deal.
Right.
So they didn't pay attention to me, but Ashley's probably had more spooky stories there. I think, maybe it's with me that they don't bother me like they do some of the other ones that are more a little easier to spook or maybe just intimidate or something might be a better word because they don't seem to intimidate me. They just kind of like move along, but that hasn't happened anymore since.
Oh, well, that's awesome. I mean, I think probably since you spend a lot of time there, the ghosts seem to get used to people, and I'm sure they're probably used to you too, Ashley. Do you have?
It'd be great if they'd stay out of my bedroom.
Well, I wondered if you had some wandering ghosts for the building.
Yeah, they don't stay in the building. I can tell you that. We've had stuff that's happened outside, not just around my house, but the building also. Each of the bunkhouses, I've had people tell me they've had stuff happen in. Yeah, my house is not off limits either. We've had stuff happen over here, whether it's voices, footsteps, things like that. But again, at the time it was scary that it happened, but now I'm just used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, my thing that happened over in the building was during the day. It was 10:30 in the morning on a Sunday, and I was in the kitchen area, and I ended up seeing like 6.5 foot, 7 foot tall black shadow.
Oof.
And a normal person would have turned around and ran away from it. No, Ashley runs right past it because why not? So, but I mean, I've seen him since then. few times, and it's kind of a love-hate relationship.
But she
Um,
doesn't.
but
She was headed out the back doors when she was going. That
but
was the quickest way.
one and only time I've ever ran out of the building. But I mean, I've slept in that building. I mean, I don't know how many times. So now, do I like walking through there at night? Well, no, no, I don't. Not by myself. But nothing. I mean, there is nothing demonic or negative or anything like that there. I mean, do we have some spirits that are jerks? Well, yeah, of course we do. But nothing bad.
Well, I'm sure they're going to stick around for a while and continue to interact with you. So, I mean,
Well,
you
I hope so.
this is what you signed up for, Ashley.
Yep.
I did.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So, and Brad, if you have questions too, I know you said you had some questions you want to ask. Feel free to
Yeah.
throw these out here too.
I wanted Robin to tell the story about rolling his eyes at Zach Higgins on Aftershocks, because I have a story that continues on with that.
We were. In fact, I think I've got my. Yeah, just sit right here. Might pick that up for me.
Love it.
It's near and dear to my heart. Now we. I was actually asked to come out to Las Vegas to do the aftershock show. For that they were putting on out there. And so they called me and asked me if I'd do it. I said, yeah, I'd like to do it. Well, the first thing the producer said, he said, okay. Asked him, I said, so what am I going to wear? He said, just a non-logoed shirt and khakis. I'm like, non-logo is not a problem. I said, but I don't wear khakis. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I said, I wear shorts all the time. He's like, oh, we don't shoot our episodes in shorts. I'm like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I said, I get it. That's fine. He's like, so you wear the khakis? I'm like, no, I just won't do the show. And he couldn't believe it. And he finally, after spending 5 to 10 minutes trying to talk me into khakis, I'm like, not going to happen. And he said, so he finally said, okay, just wear the shorts. So we get out there, and the first thing they said when I walked on set is like, he's wearing shorts. And the producer said, yeah, just shoot it. Don't worry about it. Just do it. I was like, okay. And so we're shooting this, and Zach starts to ask me about different things and all. And then he came up and asked me, he said, have you seen the episode out there? And I said, and I said it in a kind of I think so, more like, yeah, I've seen it. And he's like, did you see the episode, the part with the weatherman? I said, yeah. And he said, well, let me show that. So they showed the clip, while I'm out there. He said, doesn't that bother you? I'm like, not really. He's like, but there's something there. He's like, there's something there, and I just want you to be safe out there. And I kind of roll my eyes, and I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it. And I did it. And like after I did it, I'm like, I probably should have done that. So we got done with it, and because you never know what they're doing with this stuff. And I think the 7 or 8 people that watched it, that were all sitting in Post Town the night that Brad and I were sitting over there, and we were watching it. And I think it was even Brad that said, "Did you just roll your eyes at Biggins?" Yeah, I did, and I can't believe it made the episode. So, but, yeah.
So yeah,
I did a spoof poster that is hanging up in Ashmore now about.
And it's hilarious.
Yeah, it says like Robin Terry, the guy that rolled his eyes at Zach Biggins, or something like that on it. So it's,
Oh my
but yeah.
But yeah, the night that aired on TV, Robin invited me out to Post Town to watch the episode with him and bring my team and hang out. Well, that ended up being the same night that my vein burst in my leg on the way home from that investigation. So that is one investigation I will never, ever, ever forget.
Well, that's
and to make things worse, I think we had the Lynches there with us too.
Yep. I think Jay and Teresa were there because we were back watching it in the like house part of the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I don't watch a lot of shows, paranormal shows personally, but I think I'm definitely gonna go have to check that episode out because that's awesome.
I think I don't know if I got a clip on our website or not. Like I said, there wasn't that show didn't last very long, Actually,
Hmm.
I liked it. Only reason being is that if the owners were factual about it, but most cases it was all about owners trying to bump up their locations. And in fact, when I got a text that night from a friend of mine, Jim O'Rear, that he was one of the original Hollywood ghost hunters and all, and has been on multiple TV shows and multiple movies and everything. And he said, see what happens, you don't get along with the producer, they cut your airtime short because I wasn't on that episode very long, and that was okay with me. It was about the building, nothing about me. But it was kind of funny because when you don't agree with everything they're doing, they're like, get this guy off here. He's not going to help us sell the episode because he's not agreeing with Zach on everything. He's not kissing Zach's butt.
Right,
So
Yeah.
right.
it's like, just
Yep.
cut his airtime. Get him out of here.
Yeah,
Now,
I think it's amazing you've done so much work to the building because I remember back in 2014, it was like graffiti central. Like every wall had graffiti on it. So that's one thing I think you've done so much work. How many roofs have you actually put on the building?
But did the initial one in 2014, and then the next year it blew off. About half of it blew off again. So, well, actually more than that. About half of the new one I put on blew off, and then all the older one that was on there that was fine, it came off too. The first time it blew off, they said it was a tornado. I think it's more straight line wind because
Hmm.
they didn't have soffits enclosed, and all the wind was blowing underneath there and sucking blowing it off. The last time it blew off, the roofer told me, he said it had to be a tornado because he said it sucked the roof off.
Like
He
up.
said back when, yeah, it just pulled it straight up. You can see the nails. The nails were sticking straight up out of the wood and everything when it pulled up. What I did, and then the original part that what actually they did originally, it took it up and I was telling people doing a wet washcloth. Just pick a wet washcloth up and it stands like in a little cone, and that's what
Hmm.
it was doing. It just like, and there's no knee walls. There's a knee wall around it, so there's no way for the air to get underneath of it. So it had to suck it up off the roof.
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah, in
Now,
fact, I remember Michelle sent posted on Facebook or sent a message to a friend and said, "I don't think he's going to fix it." He said there's too much in it, and so I think I posted a post on Facebook. I'm like, Mother Nature, you don't know who you're effing with, and let it go with that. So yep, so we put it back on. We've not had any problem with it since.
Knock
That's
on wood.
awesome. Yeah.
speaking of improvements, I mean, you've done roofs, you've done a lot to the place, really, over the years. I've seen some of those photos you've posted of what it was years ago. So, um, major improvements, and I know the outhouse is a new thing.
Yep,
Um, and it has its own page to follow still. That's my
that's right.
understanding. So if you're
Yep.
interested in that, um, I think that's great, and I again I appreciate location owners keeping up with their buildings. I love it. So
Well, I was
um
trying this year to put that in because we always have to rent a porta potty during the winter months
yeah.
because there's no water out there because there's no heat. And in fact, Terry Mosby said she had to go out there one year and sweep like 2 inches of snow out of the porta potty just to use it. And
Wow.
that
Oh
this is
wow.
and those things are plastic, and if there's any wind at all, they rattle, and you're
Or
in
we
there.
have to pick it
Yeah,
up when it falls over.
yep, exactly. So that's what I said. I'm just gonna build a portable, just build an outhouse out back, and so we've
Yeah.
got a heated, lighted outhouse out back, and you could probably even get Wi-Fi reception in it. So it's
Oh
Nice.
wow.
Going live from the outhouse.
That's right.
right, yeah.
Has anybody investigated that house yet?
No, nobody wants to admit to it.
Not that I know of.
I mean, right below them is probably some 100-plus-year-old feces laying around there.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah, didn't you like pull out like entire bed frames out of the old septic system?
There was some springs down there that one of the original owners they just threw down there because these things are manhole size. That was always the concern over there is that, I mean, if the lid was off it, you could fall in without any problem at all. I
Hmm.
could fall in, and I'm not a little guy. And but yeah, so that wasn't that funny actually. So
I
but,
mean, it was funny. funny.
and but yeah, so I had to cover them up all the time. And
There.
I thought the outhouse would be perfect,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
and
For
we let
sure.
people sign the walls inside there.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
That's what I got to do. I got to get out there to sign the wall. It's already signed inside the building, so
Yeah, it's only open during the winter, so it'd be
okay.
locked up during the summer.
Okay, good.
Well, we may have to open it up during the because we got another bathroom out back, but that has running water and everything in it, so
Mm.
we may have to open up this one sometimes during the spring and summer just for the hell of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because when I went, we had, I think there's porta potty is what we had to use. So I
Yep.
Yeah, you went in the wintertime, didn't you?
think it was November.
Yeah. Probably will.
Yeah, 'cause the
Probably
water
was
gets
what
shut off. Yeah, anytime from November 1st till December 1st, and it's off until sometime in March to April 1st.
Yeah. Awesome.
Ashley, do you have like a favorite location in the building?
Like to investigate or just to go or
Just go hang out or investigate, either or.
to hang out. Like if I'm having a crap day, I like to go sit in Hannah's room. For those that don't know, Hannah was actually the caretaker out here. She actually lived in the trailer that sat here before we built the house.
Yep,
Um,
I know her. I remember
yeah,
her.
I figured you did. Very good friend of mine, very good friend. And unfortunately was killed in a car wreck 4 years ago. So she has a room up on the third floor. I like to go up there. Investigation wise, I like the boiler room or the maintenance room.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of decent EVPs down there, shadow figures.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think there's a part of that building really that we haven't had something happen in. Even I tell people, even the team room, when you're in the team room, leave something on because even the group I just had in there Saturday night, they had stuff happening in there when they were taking a break. So you never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been all over that building multiple times. There's not a part of it that I don't enjoy. So
Yeah. So do you still ever just go in there and investigate still? Like even I know you're
Not
probably
really.
super busy, but
Yeah, not really. I mean, if a team is in there, and like they ask me to go with them, I might go for a little bit, or like if it's somebody I know, I might go hang out with them for a little bit. But just to go over there by myself, I don't really do it. Now, sometimes my son will pull up my equipment at the house, and he'll be like, "Let's pull out the rim pad or the tripwire," and I'm like,
yeah.
"Okay, whatever." And then I forget it's there, and then it'll go off, and I'm like, "All right, that's it, put it up." That's not that. Like I have to sleep here.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go over there and investigate, not really. Like I guess I don't know. I'm over there so much that I don't think about it.
Right. Always working, I'm sure. Robin, do you ever investigate Ashmore Estates yourself?
Actually, the last time I investigated Ashmore, I think it was I want to say I think it was September of 2013
Yeah.
before I actually owned it. Really haven't really done much over there. Usually when I get over there, I'm working from like 6 or 7 in the morning until about 6 or 7 at night. And by
Well,
that time,
we
like
did.
yeah, I'm
Well,
toast.
me and him did like an EVP session, but it was like what 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah, not very long.
Yeah, it
And
wasn't anything like.
but we've talked about we want to do it. We're just waiting for the weather to break because at
Yeah.
this point it's like I really don't feel like walking up and down the halls at 20 degrees
yep,
and
yep.
try talk to stuff. So yeah, we're gonna wait till sometime when it gets closer to the 40s and 50s and wander over to spend a couple hours just kind of walking through the building and just asking questions about changes being made and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure people, while they're investigating there, I know we probably did ask, like, how do you like Robin? And because a lot of us investigators want to know, like, how do they like the location, how it's looking? And sometimes they'll respond. So,
Well, I've had that happen a few times where Doogie from Tennessee Ray Chasers was up on the third floor a few years back, and he said, "Hey, do you know he's had a SB7 up there using a spirit box?" He said, "Do you know who owns this building? What's his name?" And it came across at Robin. He's like, "Well, where's Robin now? I haven't seen him." He's like, "He's on the first floor." And so Doogie said, "I came down the first floor and I walked in." He's like, and I looked at him and I'm like, "What's going on?" Because he looked like he'd just seen a ghost. And
Yeah.
he's like, "And I was up on the third floor. And they told me you were down here." I'm like, "This is such BS. I'll go down and look." And like, I walked in, here you are. And I'm like, "I've been here for a few hours." And so, but yeah, so, and I've had another friend of mine did the same thing. And he said, asked where I was. He said, he's on the tractor. And I was, it was during the day. And I'm driving
Oh
down
yeah.
the road on the tractor doing some work.
Awesome. Awesome. I believe this question might be for you guys. Do you have any new? Do you know if that's for you? I'm not sure what.
Oh, like that to sponsor the rooms, maybe?
Oh, no, those things are all gone. No, and actually, that whole thing was basically, it never worked out the way I wanted it to. The whole idea was basically if somebody was in a room, because we get people all the time saying, "I was up on the second floor and in this room, and this happened." Like, which room were you in? And they're like,
Yeah, I didn't know.
"I don't know." And then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, so I thought I'll just have people. I charged $15 to put the
Mhm.
name on the door, and that was
Yeah.
it. And I thought I might get a few people to buy them. They were sold out in like 4 hours, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like okay, this went a lot quicker than I thought. And I even had people coming out later. Well, you don't have anybody's name in the bathroom. I'm like, no. And they said, put my name above the back room. Like, okay. And then another girl came out one time and told me, she's like, you know anybody's name above the shower? I'm like, okay, this is kind of getting kind of weird now because now when I walk in the shower, I think about her. When you walk in the shower, so it's like a little different, but
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well, I know you. I think I remember seeing those when I was there, and I know, for instance, Rhodes Hotel also did windows with names on it. I really wish I would have gotten in on some of that, but
I helped
I
put
thought
those
that was a
windows
cool
in.
idea. I know. I think it's a cool idea. A
and then
way
I
to
took
have
some rights.
contribute. So
and John and I only broke one. And it was the very last one we installed.
Well, we are actually doing another kind of fundraiser thing.
okay.
We made a post on our Facebook page a couple days ago. We're doing like a brick fundraiser. So we're gonna redo Anna's patio, and we're gonna do a brick pathway to the outhouse.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
So you can customize your own brick.
Oh.
They're two different sizes, 4x8 and 8x8.
Okay.
And you can order them yourself, and then whenever we're ready to do the order, then they'll actually ship them to us, and then we'll put them in.
I am noting this down so I can help.
Yeah, that's another thing. I love the fact that you do so much for charities and so much for the community. That's great.
Yeah, we tried to do a lot as much as I could out there. And when Mike shut down the charity with Lost Limbs, then we kind of jumped on with Camp Hope. And Ashley knows more about Camp Hope than I do. Her son's been out there numerous times, so I'll just tell a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I do a kids' day also out here twice a year. So that's actually April 26th and September 27th. I do a kids' day where kids can come out. We kind of show them how to investigate. We show them how some of the equipment works. And then the night of September 27th, we also do a teen night. So teens from 13 to 17 can come out and do it kind of both evening and then at nighttime. The kids' day is in the afternoon, so it's light out.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the proceeds from the ticket sales go to a place called Camp New Hope. It's about 40 minutes from Ashmore, and it's a camp that's for special needs children and adults. I have a son that's autistic, and then Abby, who helps us out here, she has a couple kids on the spectrum also. So and the camp is an awesome, awesome place. My son loves going there, so we decided to start helping them out, and
That's awesome.
good time. Yeah, the kids, we always sell out Kids Day every time, and it's a good time. They always have fun. The energy is always crazy in the building after that.
Mm-hmm.
I bet.
Yeah, I remember a few years back that you did the like once a month you did paranormal 101 classes, and that money went to charity
Right.
too. Yeah, if you
Yes.
ever do that again, I know a guy that wants to help.
Yeah, we were doing those, and we did those each month, and it worked out. It worked out fairly well. I had a couple groups that um, just caused some issues, so
Ah,
so it was easier to shut it all down at once.
yeah,
Then
yep. I totally understand. I was lucky to help 2 different years, so it was a fun time for me at least.
and yeah, it might be something I have to look at for next year, to resurrect again or something. But
Hmm.
because this year every Saturday is filled, so
Yep.
and almost every Friday. Got a couple of Fridays in March and then a couple in November. Other than that, they're all pretty much done.
Oh wow, that's awesome. And then events as like Paracons. Does Ashmore Estates ever host those?
I used to do like at least once a year, and
Yeah.
they got to be so much trouble. And it wasn't so much with the guests and all. I enjoyed doing it. It was
Yeah.
easier for me to do it myself and not ask for help because a lot
Yeah.
of times you get people going to help you and they never help you, and
Hmm.
so it just got to be a joke. So and there's so many people that are so full of themselves anymore. And newsflash, there's no shows on TV anymore. So it's like you don't have jobs. So it's like
Yeah.
get over yourself. And
Hmm.
so I'm like, yeah, so I just kind of just give it up doing those. And then it just, I mean, I get tired. I'm too damn old. I'll let Ashley do it now, but I'm too old to get involved with the drama of that crap. And
Yeah.
it seems like every time one pops up, there's all kinds of more problems. And so I'm like, yep, not dealing with it. I'll just sit there and do what I do, which is nothing. And it's a lot easier to open the doors and let people go investigate than to try to
Right.
put one of these things on. And
Right.
they don't realize how much. Like when I did the big one I did was in 2016 when we did the 100-year anniversary, and I
I
think
was
I
there.
had I think
I was I was in the book too.
so yeah, and I think that was probably um, $10 or $12,000 that I put up for bringing people in.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
and if you know, and if you don't have the money to do that front, don't do it because you cannot count on ticket sales to put
Yeah.
events on. It's just all there is to it. So I'd rather go to some of them than host them.
Yeah. Absolutely. How does one find the brick thing? Less than one is asking. That's on Facebook, right? You have it posted?
It is on our Facebook page. Um, and I can post in the comments the link
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be perfectly fine if you want to.
when I figure it out.
It's okay. What
Look,
pops up?
Ashley and technology are not friends, okay? I'm just gonna be real.
Are you
I'm not
talking to me or Jamie? Are you talking to me or talking to Ashley?
Jamie,
I don't
Not
understand the
talking
question,
about-
but I'm sure you do.
I love her. She's crazy.
Awesome.
Are you still doing the booking for Cheney Manor too, Robin?
No, fortunately, I've trained those guys well enough. Now they're doing it all themselves.
Oh, awesome.
So I got out doing that stuff, helping, and I don't have to help out with roads and there as much because Crystal's got that pretty much under control. Although we talk quite a bit.
Taught us well.
Do what?
I said you've taught us well.
So yeah, so yep. So Ashley pretty much has it under control there. We talk every day, once, twice, 10 times.
I wouldn't go
And
that far.
yep.
Yeah, we're bringing
Mario.
Mike and Crystal back on later this season too. So
Okay, good.
Yeah, Crystal's pretty. She doesn't like doing these a lot,
right.
but tell her.
But I actually reached out to her directly instead of to Mike. So I'm like, hey, we're bringing the pot because they were supposed to be on back in August too, and so I reached out to her directly. I'm like, hey, we're bringing the show back. Do you and Mike still want to come back on? And she's like, sure. So hopefully we can get her out of that bubble a little bit. So
Yeah, probably not going to happen. But,
How do you feel,
Well, yeah.
Ashley, about doing these?
I've done. I mean, I haven't done a ton of them, but I've done them enough now that it just really doesn't bother me anymore. Like before,
Good.
I was the same way. Like 5 years ago, if you would have been like, "Hey, do these interviews," I'd be like, "No, I don't want to be in front of people." And now I'm just like, whatever. Okay.
I'm sure you'll get asked. I'm sure Robin got asked a lot, and you'll probably be next.
Well, now he gets asked, and he's like, "You're gonna do it with me, right?" So, but I do the same thing to him. I'm like, "You're gonna come on with me, right?"
It's only fair.
That's right. It's
Right.
only fair. It's a package deal.
We did something out there just I don't know if it was this year or last year, and with a Canadian group that came down, and it's the first time
Oh
that
yeah,
actually the two of us had been there together that they wanted to do a walking through and interview us as we went through, and that probably went really great because
yeah,
things that I might have forgot she picked up, and things she forgot I picked up. So it's
Yeah.
probably other than I don't know how their video will come out, but it was probably as far as the interview walk through the building, it's probably the best one that's been done this since I've had out there.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Robin, do you want to tell about one of your more famous spirits that visits you at the R Theater?
Let's see, this be here. Oh yeah, that's yeah. We've got a guy by the name of
yeah. That
John
guy.
Wayne Gacy that pops up
Yeah.
every once in a while here. So in fact, let me see. I don't know if I can do this or not. I'll try it. There's an armoire right over there
Hmm.
that was owned by the attorney that represented me. And when I brought that back, we ended up with I refinished the whole thing, took it out, had it open, took everything out of it inside of it, refinished it, brought it upstairs, and it's locked and it won't unlock. And I've had some friends of mine who are psychic mediums that came through and they were doing an investigation here. We were doing a newbie night here, and kind of like I did the 101s at Ashmore. And so Norma and these three psychics walked through the building and they picked up on all kinds of crazy stuff going through the building while they're doing it. And so they came upstairs and saw the armoire and picked up on that. And they were sitting downstairs and this is the very, very abbreviated version. And they're just like, what the heck's going on here? What's all this the Duke from like the old Western movies with John Wayne? And they picked up on that. They picked up on clowns, digging, crawl spaces, all kinds of stuff. And then finally Patty was downstairs in the theater room here in the building, and she's like, Norma, I don't want to alarm you, but John Wayne Casey's standing right behind you. How the F are you not going to alarm somebody? Like, hey, not a big deal, but there's like serial killer standing right behind you. And but yeah, so they picked up on him in the building, and ever since then we've had, we've quit doing investigations here
Yeah.
because my heart would go to eighth about 75% of the time that we're doing investigations here. So we quit doing them,
Yeah.
and we just shut it down and stopped doing them. But yeah, that armoire was owned by the attorney representing Gacy. Then his final chance, and I got some other stuff that I got from her that she had also.
Mm.
Oh,
That's,
wow.
that's very cool.
So,
I don't remember if he was. She's sitting on it. Did Patty ever say anything about if Gacy was dressed as like clown or in regular clothes? She never said. I know she did say that he had stuff wrapped around his legs, and she wouldn't tell him what it was,
Hmm.
or that Patty wouldn't tell Norma what it was wrapped around his legs. I think it was kids' bodies. But
Mm.
since that's happened, we've had numerous other experiences with people up here. I had another psychic up here a couple years after that, and I said, "You had her come here and just check out the upstairs here and see if she felt anything or found anything." And she says something about this armoire because she said there's something about this armoire that's just weird. And it's like I can see like body parts and all. And so I said, "Oh," she's like, so she finally said, "Well, who do you think it is?" I said, "John Wayne Gacy." And she pointed to her husband, like, "He was at his execution." And he was
Hmm.
really?
standing up here. It's like, yeah, he was at the execution. And then another psyche was we were doing during the Unity Day that we had here. He had said something to me. He goes, "Hey," he said, "I went to use your restroom. I saw somebody stand at the top of your stairs." And I'm like, so you see people everywhere. And he's like, yeah, but this was different. I said, what do you mean? He's like, well, he's like, it was a serial killer. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. I said, who was it? He's like, I don't know how to tell you this. He said, but it's John Wayne Gacy. I'm like, oh, he's back. And he's like, what do you mean he's back? So, and so I
So
told him the whole story.
nonchalant.
Yeah, really. And so I had to tell him the whole story about it. And he came up here and he said, don't tell me anything else, but I'm going to go upstairs and check things out. So he
Mhm.
came up and he picked up on, and, and I was kind of, and I know Brad isn't, I don't think he is, but, with psychics and I don't have a problem with psychics, but at the same time, I'm kind of nonchalant, kind of hesitant with a lot of them.
Mhm.
But he picked up on some stuff with that whole serial killer thing that wasn't in the episode that Brad Kling did. When he did the
Okay.
episode out here.
Mhm.
And so it's like, okay, 'cause he says something about he's like, there's records, or he said that there's paintings in his armoire. And I'm like, there's not now. I took them out.
But they used to
He
be.
said, there used to be paintings, and he did paintings for her when he was in prison, and she kept them in that armoire. And
Oh
because
wow.
I've held those paintings, and but yeah, I told him, I said, no, they're not. He said, no, he says they're there. That's why it's locked. Like, they're not there. He's like, no, he says they're in there. I'm like, they're not there, Tony. I've had it apart. I refinished the whole thing. I
Yeah.
know they're not in there. And then he mentioned something about, well, what's out back here? Because I mean, it's kind of, when you've only been here one time, it's easy to get turned around inside this place. And he said, well, what's out back here? I'm like, what do you mean, what's out back here? He said, well, he said he likes to go back out here and stand and watch people. He said, what's out here? He said, watch the people. And I said, it's the loft above the garage that we're all sitting in right now. He said, okay, well, he told me he likes to watch people out there, and we heard that from numerous people that they've seen somebody up in our loft walking around.
Oh
And there's only
wow.
one way to get up there, either two ways to get up there, either a ladder or an elevator that I made. And most people don't know how to use the elevator,
Hmm.
so they wouldn't know how to get up there.
Very cool.
Yeah, I love that. Do you collect a lot of serial killer memorabilia or just John Wayne Gacy?
I've got a few items here and
Yeah.
there, mostly Gacy stuff I picked up.
Yeah. Oh, that's
But
very cool.
I have a tendency to collect a little bit of everything.
Hmm.
Oh.
How many Ouija boards do you own?
A little bit.
Norm's going like yeah.
I can't even
Ouija
stretch
board.
my arm that far.
I don't know. I'm gonna guess probably only 50.
Only 50?
Only.
Yeah. There's probably about 20 Frank's boxes.
That's it.
Yep. And well, I've got one room that I bought I bought our old Amos garage. And I've got one room I keep my paranormal equipment in. So there's a few
And
cases
when
over
he
there.
says room, he means like bedroom.
Ah.
Ah.
Yeah, it's not a closet. So
No.
there's
Well, that's pretty cool. So what do we have to look forward to in the world of Robin and Ashmore Estates and Ashley moving forward? More events, more charities, more ghost hunting lives.
if there's any Paracon stuff like that, she'll be doing them. Won't be me.
Should we
So
doing them? Okay.
yeah. So
He
so
doesn't know that yet. He's going to be tagging along. He just doesn't know it.
I mean, I'll go to the events, but I'm not going to host them out at Ashmore. I'm not.
Oh well, no.
Yeah,
No.
I'm not doing that. But no, and we've got one. Actually, I'm going to be doing one in March up in Michigan for the she's lost Tim's name. The
Photograph.
Potographs, yeah, Potographs in March, and the end of March, and Ashley and I are both going down. We're road tripping down to San Antonio, Texas, to
for the Kling event?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're driving down to that one.
So hopefully
Very
we
cool.
both come back.
Will we be
Yeah, we got a
seeing
few other ones.
Ashmore on TV soon again?
Not anytime real soon at all. It's there's nothing. We've got a couple things in the works, but you'll see it on YouTube stuff all the time because there's a lot of YouTubers come out there and shoot stuff. But we have a couple things coming up in the works. It's always fun
Okay.
to it's fun to do stuff that people can do things different. And Jack Osborne's episode was different, and
Mhm.
Oh, good.
which
Okay.
made it kind of nice. But just to come out and do the same old run of the mill thing, I don't know why people would keep coming out and just going through and investigating. Do something different, and that would be good. And we might have something coming up that might be kind of different. So we'll see how it all pans out.
Very cool.
All right. Anything else you two would like to share with our audience about yourselves or Ashmore?
She's not wearing shorts like she agreed to, so she's got to work on that.
I
And
did it twice. That's enough.
nope.
That's
But
it.
here's where the training comes in. This is the point where Ashley's going to tell you how to reach out and contact us.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can
absolutely.
do
Yeah.
that.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's do
So
that.
yeah, go ahead. Tell us. I mean, we all know you're on Facebook and everything, but where all are you? And you and Ashley.
We are on Facebook, or you can check us out on our website, ashmoreestates.net, or email at info@ashmoreestates.net, or phone number, you could call me, 217-899-9978. Yeah,
That
And
sounds
there's
like
still
a singles
availability.
pitch.
it was a great sales pitch. I was trying.
That wasn't sales. That was single pitch.
He said singles,
Hmm.
like
Hey,
long walks through
what?
spooky places.
I gotta do what I gotta do, okay? I have a hefty loan to pay. So, if it works, it works.
There you go.
And like we discussed, there are still openings available to book Ashmore. As far
Yeah,
as we know,
so
it's
if
not
you-
really weekends, but
Yeah, if you go on our website and you look at our calendar, you can see what dates we have open. As long as there is nothing on that date, that means it is open. However, if there is something on it, we can still do a daytime because we do daytimes, so that's an option also.
Yeah, I highly recommend daytime tours. It's
Yes.
it's just a neat place to walk around.
Yeah.
A lot cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. You don't get that paranormal hangover. I mean,
Right.
Yes.
And there's other places close enough that you can do a daytime at Ashmore and go nighttime. It's someplace else.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome. Yep. We'll definitely be checking that out for this year, maybe later this year. Brad, he's my go-to
Okay.
person. Hey, Brad, let's go out.
Wink, wink.
I'm good with. I can make middle of the week work.
Yeah,
Hey,
I could.
I'll do them during the week. I have no problem with that.
Awesome.
And we do have
All
quite,
right.
there's quite a few public dates set up already too.
Yes, yeah, we do. We have those on our website also, and we're actually going to do daytime public ones this year also. So
Okay, that's awesome. That gives people the opportunity to check out the place, if they don't want to book privately, for sure.
right.
Love that. All right. Well, I do want to thank you both, Robin, for joining us, and Ashley for joining us, sharing a little bit of your paranormal experiences, what you have going on, and your stories with us. I appreciate you both. Brad?
Yep, greatly. Thank you so much for coming on with us tonight. It was a great. I've been excited for this week. So
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for
Congrats
having me
over
on.
the moon.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And thank you, everybody who jumped in here and commented and watched. We appreciate you all supporting us. Be sure to give us a follow, like, sub, all that, and go find Ashmore Estates and give them some love, too. With that said, everybody, I thank you all for joining us. Everyone have a good night.
yep.
Bye.
See you, everyone.
Hi. Night.